Good afternoon. Welcome to our beautiful home here in the Sacramento Mountains. It's just a gorgeous fall day here in September. Just beautiful. Today I want to talk to you not about one gun, but I wanted to give you an overview of a partnership that worked out to create four of the greatest lever action rifles of all time. And that's the collaboration between John Browning and Oliver Winchester. In 1884, Oliver Winchester traveled to Ogden, Utah to meet with John Browning. His mission was to secure the patents for the 1885 single action, single shot, falling block rifle that became the 1885 Winchester, later to be known as the high wall and the low wall. While he was there, he looked on the wall and he saw the drawings for John Browning's first lever action rifle. And that happened to be this rifle. Well, John Browning sold the patents to this gun to Oliver Winchester, and this became Oliver Winchester's new heavy caliber rifle, replacing the 1876 and the 1873s. It was the first gun that was strong enough to handle several of the cartridges, like 45-70 and several of the big heavier cartridges. It featured two massive locking lugs that come up in the rear of the bolt, securing the bolt in place. The gun this one features a half magazine, a 26-inch barrel, and it's very heavy made. This is a beautiful example of an 1890s vintage 1886 Winchester. And this was the first gun, that lever action, that John Browning designed and Oliver Winchester marketed. It was an instant success. Fast forward a few years later, and Oliver Winchester's having trouble selling. The market's fallen off on his 73s and 76s because Marlin's entered the scene with their 89, and their rifles is really collecting a lot of attention. So Oliver Winchester turned to John Browning again and said, I need a new rifle design. In 2 weeks, John Browning sent Oliver Winchester a working prototype, and that's this rifle right here. This is the Winchester rifle designed by John Browning of 1892. It featured two of the same locking lugs like on the 86, so there was some of that design that did not have to be reproduced, just they were shrunk down to fit the frame of this gun. This gun is a beautiful example, again, from the 1890s. Features an octagon barrel, 26-inch barrel, full-length magazine, and this one is in 25-20. Just a beautiful, again, example of a John Browning designed Winchester rifle. Then 2 years later, again, John Browning hit another home run, and he designed what became known as probably the most famous lever action of all time, the 1894 Winchester. This one, they came in 30-30, they came in 38-55. This one's a 38-55. This one is an early 1890s production gun. This one features a 26-inch octagonal barrel. Personally, I really love the 26-inch octagonal barrel guns. They're just so gorgeous. This is a heavy caliber of the day. You go bear hunting with this, you go elk hunting with this. A 38-55 would take just about anything around at the time. That's a beautiful example of it. Then, the men being what they were and having egos and being very successful, both of them. John Browning had been very successful at designing firearms, probably the most famous firearm designer of all times. But he wanted his name on guns. He wanted to share in the glory of that. Oliver Winchester wanted to market the Winchester name, and so their last collaboration on lever action guns was the 1895. The 1895 was designed as the heaviest made lever action rifle. This one would take, at the time, would take any caliber they had. This one is in 30-40 Craig. They even came in the 405 Winchester, and that was Teddy Roosevelt's favorite gun. This gun featured a box magazine instead of the tubular magazine. So for the first time, you didn't have to shoot flat-nosed bullets. You could shoot spiral point bullets in it, which made hunting with it a little bit more something people wanted to do. It's a beautiful example from the 1890s again, in a 1895 John Browning design Oliver Winchester marketed gun. This is the 1895 Winchester and 3040 Craig. Both men enjoyed a lot of success in separate ways. John Browning went on and finally got his name put on guns when he started using other people to market them. Again, I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy this little lesson on the 4 lever actions of the day. Thank you.